Hello, welcome back to Brickwall Pictures. I'm Sam. Today we're doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger tier list, and I am joined by that fat samurai guy himself. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel if you aren't already. He's probably more of an Arnold Schwarzenegger expert than I am. I'm almost certain of that. So what I have done here, we have not conferred on which Arnie movies we've seen and which ones we haven't. So what I've done is I have accrued the posters to every major Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And I just dumped them all in the bank for this tier list.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is there's a bunch in there that I haven't seen.
Me too, believe it or not. Me too.
I'm sure there's a couple. I'm going to guess you've seen more than I have. So for those ones, you're going to completely take the reins.
Okay.
And then if we come across one that neither of us have seen, we're just going to delete it. We're going to kick its ass right out.
It gets the boot. All right.
So you can see we have a fuckload of movies here.
Yeah.
There are 35 movies. These are in mostly a randomized order, except I did make sure that Jingle All the Way was first. So for those who don't follow that fat samurai guy on YouTube, I was just on his channel recently and we talked about Jingle All the Way. And we talked about Home Alone versus Jingle All the Way. He picked Jingle All the Way. I picked Home Alone. So we obviously disagreed on that one. If you want to hear more of our thoughts on this movie in particular, go check out that video on his channel.
It's hilarious.
Where would you rank it just purely on your own as far as...
So if I took the nostalgic, emotional story out of it with my mother, if I removed that and
I think if you want to incorporate that as part of your decision process, I think that's totally fair. It's up to how you want to do it.
Okay, that's what helped me make my decision on Versus, believe it or not, because I probably would have ended up choosing Home Alone. But I just, I have nostalgia reasons. It's between B and C for me.
Okay, so that's kind of where you're feeling like it. If I'm being perfectly honest, it's not an F. I would not give it an F. Definitely not. But I probably would give it an E on my personal thing.
Okay.
So if you're between B and C, and I'm an E, I guess that puts it like between C and D.
Okay.
So I'll be... We'll side with you on this one. We'll give it a C. And next up, we got one that I have not seen.
I haven't seen this one either, dude. It's not like regular damage. It's collateral.
I have no idea what this one is. So, all right, there we go. It's gone. Okay, Batman and Robin.
The movie where the director apologized. He made a public apology. I don't know if you've seen that. Have you seen that?
This is one of the Joel Schumacher ones.
Yeah,
right?
he apologized. He made a public apology for it. It's funny because for some people, it's their greatest. It's their favorite because it's so bad, it's good to them, and they laugh hysterically about it. And when they watch it, and I kind of get that because when I watch this, I'm at the same time I want to kill myself, but I'm laughing hysterically at how bad it is. So I'm getting entertainment from that. It belongs in the F tier, but I don't know. You can laugh at it
quality, but you get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So
because it's horrible. It's just it's like a train wreck.
Yeah, I feel bad for Joel Schumacher that this is the one movie he's known for because he's done some great stuff like Falling Down. This movie is incredible.
It's legit.
He directed that one. Oh, I should point out we got some Arnie on the backdrop here. We got Predator.
That's
here.
Right.
We got both Terminator movies, the first two over there.
Classics.
And we got another Terminator. It's got a little out of frame. Another Terminator over there.
Yeah.
Oh, and another Predator. So there we go. But so I think Joel Schumacher, I feel bad that it's like everyone associates him with Batman, his failed Batman.
It's kind of like Paul Verhoeven. He's the Showgirls guy.
Yeah.
He's the Showgirls guy. He's like, come on now. RoboCop, Total Recall, son.
Yeah, absolutely. When we got Total Recall coming up in a couple spots.
Should we be generous and leave it in C? Or
I think we can go with enjoyment rather than film quality in this one, because it's kind of like, and I've never seen the old Adam West Batman series, but I hear people describe it the same way, where they talk about it as it being it's awful, but it's really funny.
It's hilarious. The original show is pretty funny. But I feel, though, keeping it bad range gives it its cult status, because we don't want to give it too much praise. So
maybe around E.
Yeah.
But then what do you think about how Arnie's definitely the best part of the movie, right? As Mr. Freeze. He's got all the one-liners and all that. Yeah.
Freeze in hell, Batman.
Should we give him an extra little bump because it's an Arnie tier list?
Let's go D.
Okay,
D. Fuck it.
We're going D on Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Okay, next up is one I don't even know anything about. It's called Killing Gunther. Have you seen it? It's one of his more recent ones.
The plot synopsis for this is gold. It's gold. Yeah? You have everyone trying to kill Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. He plays as like the greatest assassin of all time. So everyone's trying to kill him. Parts of the movie were funny, but it was so disappointing that you don't see Arnold until the very end.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
You'll
Yeah.
see a stunt double running around, getting
Oh,
away
it's
from
one of
things,
those. I
and you don't
see.
really see Gunther till the very
Right.
end.
So it's
And
like a
it's like
Bruce Willis movie where it's just his stand-in for the whole movie there.
not that bad.
Oh, okay.
But it's just it's kind of funny, but I was disappointed because the plot synopsis is gold, and then Arnold sings a song in the credits. Very bizarre movie. But yeah, if I want to be generous, it can go C. That's fine.
Okay.
That's
Pop
fine.
that and see. We're getting to the first big boy on the list,
Shit.
probably Total Recall. Now, I have a confession to make. I have seen parts of Total Recall, like, repeatedly on TV and whatever. Yeah. I just watched the full thing for the first time, like a couple days ago for this tier list.
Yes.
And it's fucking great. It was so much better than the sum of its parts when I watched the full package.
Yeah. And actually pretty solid acting performance from
I think he's really good. Now, the one thing I think he gives a really good performance in this. I don't know how well he actually fits the character, because I do got to say, like, based on what the story is, it's the story of this guy who had no idea he was this crazy super assassin guy. I thought he was just a mild-mannered everyman. But it's like when you're built like Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's kind of a tough pill to swallow. His physicality is an obstacle to so many characters he played, because it's just like nobody who's an accountant, like he's pretending to be in True Lies. No accountant looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You need a little bit of that in Total Recall too, but he is good in the
Consider that a divorce. Bloody squibs, beautiful bloody squibs.
Oh my God. Verhoeven has the best squibs in the business.
The best.
I don't know why more squibs don't look like that. Maybe he's got like a secret recipe.
Maybe he does. Yeah. For me personally, I'm going S tier.
I can get on board with that for sure. It might be, I would be a little more torn between S and A, but I'll totally let you sway me to S, because the script is shockingly good. I went into it expecting bloody violence and action and all that. I was not expecting as tight of a screenplay.
Yeah.
It's one of like the best paced movies I've seen in a very long time.
The music's good. You got Michael Ironside,
I wish Michael Ironside.
See you at the party, Victor. I mean, come on.
I wish he could be the heavy bad guy in every action movie. Yes. Michael Ironside. He's just perfect for that. Now, Aftermath. I'd never even heard of this one. Okay,
I was curious. It's all drama, I've heard.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
But I have not seen it though.
Next up, we have the first Expendables, which he's not even really in it all that much. It's just a cameo in the first one, right?
So I would put the first Expendables. The movie grew on me more. I had high expectations going in. With all my, this is a movie with all my heroes in one movie, so my expectations were so high.
Yeah, me too.
That I was a little disappointed until I liked it, but I didn't love it until I watched the documentary Inferno. Have you seen that?
No, is it about the making of this?
Oh my God, dude, it's crazy. And I had a lot more respect for the movie. I mean, Stallone's career was almost done. He broke his back. Like it was nuts.
He broke his back filming this, or like before?
Yeah. Oh, it's the scene where Stone Cold Steve Austin kind of tackles him and he falls right to a brick wall, but he hits the corner of it. And it looked like that was going to be a wrap, dude. And then I rewatched it again and I ended up liking it more. I would put it B. But since Arnold's barely in it, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we got to demote it at least one level for that.
Okay.
Personally,
for the Arnold list.
Yeah.
If this was Stallone list, it'd be B.
Personally, I would put the movie way lower. So I'm actually contemplating lowering it further. But here's the thing. Okay, so like you, I was a fan of, I wouldn't say all of these guys. Like there's like Randy Couture. What is he doing in there? I don't know. I mean, I know he's like an MMA fighter, but like he's not like an action actor. Yeah. He's a terrible actor. So it's like, they're picking and choosing. Some of them are good, some of them aren't. I think this came out when I was in high school and I went and saw it in the theater all excited. I was just so disappointed. The only part of the movie I like, I hate the whole like first act, most of the second act. The only part I got some enjoyment was the third act, and specifically the only like moment I remember, Terry Crews with his big automatic shotgun going down the hallway. Nuts, that was great. And I love like Like I can hear the sound of that gun firing, those people going flying. That was the only like cool part for me as a high schooler watching it. And I was like the key target demographic.
Oh yeah.
And then when I tried rewatching it, I liked it even less. Like it didn't grow on me.
You got the opposite effect. Okay.
Yeah, I think for me, I would put it like I wouldn't go F. I would probably go E.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe let's go D.
Okay.
We can settle on that.
You know what I didn't know is I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he said that the reason why the Jet Li versus Dolph Lundgren fight looked like shit is because they had the second unit crew edit it. Stallone wasn't there.
Oh, they edited it.
Yeah, that's why it looks choppy.
Yeah. Well, it's also like super dark too. Like it's like
Stallone wasn't happy about that when he saw it, but it was too late. You know.
That's a terrible fight scene. I've seen multiple video essays that use that scene as an example of bad action.
We're back to Arnold. This is Arnold list.
Yes.
Right,
okay.
Go.
Next up, we got The Last Stand. This was noteworthy as his first movie post-Governator.
Right.
I think I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's weird pairing him up with like Johnny Knoxville as his buddy in the movie. He's like the comedic relief. He's fine in it, I guess.
Yeah.
I was really excited for this. One, because it's Arnold's first movie back after being gone for so long. I mean, ostensibly.
And the director, right?
And the director, Kim Ji-woon, who is one of my favorite South Korean directors.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think this movie I feel like I even need to rate it lower because I feel like it kind of tanked Kim Ji-woon's whole career a little bit. I feel like Kim Ji-woon made a bunch of great movies, and then he made this, and then everything he's made since, even when he went back to South Korea, his movies have all been a little worse since what he made beforehand. I mean, not everyone agrees with me that his stuff after it's worse, or worse rather, because the movie he made, I think right after this, was called Age of Shadows, and a lot of people really loved it, and it was even the movie that South Korea sent to the Oscars as their pick. It just didn't connect with me.
Right.
But the movie he made before this, like he made great stuff. Like he made I Saw the Devil, which is like one of the best revenge movies out there. He made The Good, the Bad, and the Weird, which is like one of the best Western / action movies ever. That movie's unbelievably good.
Yeah, it's insane.
And then I think what happened is like the film industry, the way movies are made is so different between South Korea and like Hollywood, where he made The Last Stand, or like US filmmaking in general. Right. I feel like it rubbed off on him in the wrong ways.
The Last Stand is a take it or leave it movie. Like it was one of those. I was happy at least it was R-rated, and he had that really cool Gatling gun scene with body parts where people were he was mowing them down. You know, that's all I remember. But the villain's like, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I'm the sheriff," and I'm like, "That's so fucking lame, dude. Like they just lazy."
Yeah,
it's harmless. It's okay.
I think it was just extra disappointing as coming from this director and being Arnold's first movie back, because it's just such a generic script, you know?
Yeah.
I will say the one really cool moment that I liked a whole lot is there's a part where he tackles a guy off a roof and he shoots him in the head in midair as they're falling.
That was dope.
That was fucking badass.
Yeah.
That one moment is enough for you say C?
Yeah.
I can get on board with that.
Unless you want B. Do you want B?
I would not go B. I'd be leaning more toward D actually, but we got another one I haven't seen up next. What is this one? Raw Deal? Is that what that one is?
That was Red Heat.
Oh, Red Heat. Oh, Raw Deal's later on. Okay. I can't read it. It's too tiny.
If you want to see some of the best, or hear some of the best Russian accents ever, watch Raw Deal. Arnold's Russian accent alone is so bad it's worth watching the movie. I never really been a big Belushi fan.
Yeah,
James.
Me neither.
He's okay. I never really been a big fan.
I really liked him recently he was in the new Twin Peaks season.
Oh, okay.
And it was like a bizarre casting choice. I was like, what is he doing here? And then he actually like really impressed me. I thought he fit in with Lynch's style. It's the only time I've liked him.
Raw Deal. Sure, you got me saying it now. Red Heat.
Yeah, Red Heat.
Raw Heat.
Red
Raw Deal. Heat. It's Walter Hill, man. In the 80s.
Oh, it is. I didn't even know that. Yeah, I know nothing about this movie.
Yeah, so it's violent, action-packed. The soundtrack kind of reminds me a little bit of a Commando soundtrack a little bit, but it's entertaining, man. It's B for me for an Arnold flick. It's B.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've never seen it, so this is all you here. This is one of the bigger ones I have. I've not seen The Running Man.
How is that possible?
I don't know. This is what I should see. Yeah.
Based off of Stephen King work.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I was like, what? Stephen King?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Dude, it's one-liner mania. It's
Oh, really?
one-liner
Okay.
mania.
Is this the one where he wears like a spandex jumpsuit?
Yes.
I've seen pieces of it actually.
And
I might actually, you know what? I might have seen the whole thing,
you've
but I
probably
just don't
seen
remember it. I think
Yeah,
I saw it
it's
on
been a
TV
while.
once. Yeah, I just don't remember anything about it.
Futuristic game of death where they force inmates to
Oh,
compete.
yeah, it's coming back to me. Okay, I have seen it. I just don't remember much about it.
Yeah, but yeah, great. Just the whole movie's one-liners, dude. It's hilarious, especially Jesse Ventura's character. It's just I don't want to ruin too much in case you wanted to rewatch it. But dude, it's Running Man. It's violent. It's a lot of fun. It's hilarious. For an Arnold movie, it's an A.
Oh, okay. There we go.
It's an A. It deserves.
It looks so similar to the Total Recall poster. Red Sonja.
Oh, poor Red Sonja.
I haven't seen this one either.
Well, you know what? It's a guilty pleasure of mine. Ennio Morricone did the fucking score for this. That's right.
That's something.
It's just like what is going on?
Yeah. Now he's playing Conan in it, right?
No.
Oh, he isn't. Oh, okay.
No.
I thought they were like in the same universe.
They are, but for some,
but he's a different character.
Yeah, but he's literally Conan. He looks like Conan. Okay. He fights like Conan.
He's got a different.
But he's it's so bizarre. It's just like it would have been the movie would have been 5 times better if it was actually Conan. But it's a Brigitte Nielsen star making vehicle. It's her movie, and she's okay. But you get some violence, man. It's still R-rated. You get a funny little Ernie Reyes Jr. Role in the movie, doing little Ernie Reyes Jr. doing martial arts and stuff like that. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, but I got to be honest with it. So it's a C. I'll be generous.
Next up, we got the second Expendables movie.
Now we're talking.
I will say, this one, huge improvement over the first one for me.
Yeah.
I will say, I enjoyed the hell out of it in the theater when I saw it.
Yeah.
When I tried to rewatch it on like Netflix later on, I didn't enjoy it like even half as much. I still enjoyed it more than the first one, but it didn't really hold up on rewatch for me. The villain is better, like Jean-Claude Van Damme as the villain.
Phenomenal.
Huge improvement over whoever the guy was in the first one. Actually, I know who
Roberts.
Oh, okay. Van Damme, he's memorable as a villain. He kicks a knife into a guy's chest. That's pretty cool.
Rest in
made
pieces.
good use of him. Yeah, and you got Scott Adkins in there, I think.
Yeah, a little Scott Adkins bonus.
Yeah. So he's good. I liked some of the stuff Stallone was doing himself in the role in terms of like his super fast like reloading and whatnot. I got like a good sense of him as a distinct badass as apart from the others, which was a problem in the first one.
Right.
So it's a big improvement, but it still didn't hold up super well on rewatch for me.
Right.
It's messy. It's so much potential that it doesn't live up to.
Right. And the end fight with Van Damme was a lot of fun too.
And there is more Arnie in this one.
Yes.
There's also Chuck Norris, but
there's more. You get a Chuck Norris bonus, but you get more Arnold and more Bruce Willis, which is what we wanted. And their scene was hilarious. Arnold ripping the door off the car. He's sitting in his little small ass car shooting people. It was like, finally. If it was Stallone-less, I'd give it a B. I'd give it a B. Fuck it.
A B?
Yeah.
Okay. I can get on board with that. It would be a little lower for me personally, but I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up is Junior.
I refuse to watch this.
I've seen it. I think it's horrible.
That's what I heard. So I didn't miss out.
I'm just going to go straight into F. We don't have to talk about it.
That's right. Junior's so bad, Batman and Robin beat it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Beat it by quite a large margin. Yeah. Okay. Next up, we have Hercules in New York. I don't think I've actually seen this one, at least not all of it, but it was like his first. This is like he was in it because he was Mr. Universe,
Yeah. And he was dubbed the whole movie.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
And it's so fascinatingly bad to hear dubbed Arnold Schwarzenegger. But Zeus, you are my father. Right. But he's like, Zeus, I do not agree with it's so bizarre hearing that voice come out of Arnold.
I understood him. He's most disagreeable, and he has irritated me.
It's not even a so bad it's good movie. It has its moments of hilariousness, but it's not like a cult classic or anything like that.
Sounds like E or F, possibly.
F.
Okay, yeah, there we go. There's another movie that I almost included in this, but I didn't because it's such a small part. He's in after Hercules in New York. He was in The Long Goodbye.
Was that the Western?
No, it's a film noir. It's like a neo noir. It's a Philip Marlowe story with Ellie Gould playing him. Philip Marlowe is the classic
Yeah.
Raymond Chandler private detective character,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's a great movie actually.
Oh.
The reason I didn't include it in here is because Arnold doesn't even have any lines or anything. He's literally one of the henchmen in the background. They just
Oh, how
cast him because
funny.
he's humongous.
Funny.
The reason I mention it is because there's a scene where he's like standing there all buff in the office, and then he just like takes his shirt off and takes his pants off, and he's got a little Speedo on for like no reason. So I don't know. That's in there. It's a role where they just cast him for his body. He's a literal piece of meat in that movie.
It's funny that there was no reason or purpose for it. He just got naked.
Okay, and now we're on to the last Expendables movie, which is one that I have not seen. I didn't bother with the third one because I didn't like the second one enough to jump into the third one.
So the third one,
It went back
I'm
to PG-13,
probably gonna get a lot of flack for it, but it came out PG-13. I said I'm not supporting this garbage. I'm not doing it. And everybody that whole year was like, hey, this is the worst film of the year. That's all I kept hearing. The worst film of the year, the worst film of the year, all year. So we were like, we just waited till it came out on Blu-ray. When it came out on Blu-ray, it was like the unrated version. And all the new characters they added, garbage. Like, we don't give a shit about these young new characters. We're here for the old.
Wasn't it like Ronda Rousey was one of them?
We didn't give a shit about all these new characters they're bringing in. We're like, we're here for the old guard, man. You know.
Yeah.
But you do get an awesome Wesley Snipes bonus. He's great in it.
Didn't Antonio Banderas join the third one too?
Yeah, he was in there. He was hilarious. And Mel Gibson was great, dude. He's a great villain. Like he's the bad guy, huh? He outacted everyone. Like, he was great in the movie. I thought it was entertaining, man. My expectations were so low by the time I saw it. It had enough action in it to be entertaining. It's just the new cast was just like whatever. But Arnold, believe it or not, his chemistry with Jet Li was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Because I was just like, can we get their movie? A little buddy cop movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jet Li. This is hilarious.
That'd be a fun pairing
together. But he wasn't really in the movie a lot. So I would say go ahead and put C tier. Next
up we have one of my favorites, True Lies.
Dude, F tier.
What?
I'm just kidding.
For me, True Lies is it's in the running for my favorite Arnie movie. I'll say it's S for me, dude, but if you feel lower, then
dude, it's S tier.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my God.
It's great.
Phenomenal.
Some people don't like it, and I can kind of see why. It does have a very strange structure as far as like it's quite episodic, and it is kind of like long in the tooth in terms of like there's a point every time I watch it, there's a point where I think the movie's ending, and then I go, oh wait, there's like a whole another hour of the movie where they go off and do this whole separate thing. So it is kind of episodic in that way. It kind of feels like a movie and a sequel to itself at the same time. It's like the origin story of, his identity and Jamie Lee Curtis getting involved in it. And then it feels like that's a movie on its own. And then there's a sequel where they go off and do the thing with all the terrorism and the jet plane and all that stuff,
Dude, it's phenomenal. We get Bill Paxton, rest in peace.
Oh, he's
hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's just, dude, the stunts, the action, how many, like, real action, bro. Real action, dude. Like, real shit, And it's just like, how many necks does he break in this movie? It's hilarious. It's a classic.
Yeah, it is. It's very funny. I think it's one of his funniest movies.
If somebody came to me and said, hey, I'm going to cast Arnold Schwarzenegger as James Bond, I'm going to be like, this is a horrible idea. Worked out perfectly fine. True Lies. 5 out of 5 stars.
The whole cast is great. It's a great script. It's one of his best scripts that he's been attached to. It's just really good. The characters are great.
Yeah. Back when James Cameron made good movies.
Yeah, back when he made more than documentaries and Avatar stuff. Okay, next up we have Maggie, which I haven't seen, but I heard a lot of buzz about. It's like I don't think there's any action. I think it's a straight up drama. It's like a zombie movie, but it's like more drama. A
lot of people expecting an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where it's Arnold versus zombies, killing zombies. I'm sure they were really disappointed. But I knew going in that it was going to be a drama. I knew. I wasn't expecting an action flick.
Yeah.
Very well done, dude. I would give it B.
Cool. I'm looking forward to checking that one out eventually. Okay. Last Action Hero. This is the other one that I just watched to round out my tier list experience here.
All right.
This movie is so polarizing. It's definitely a movie that has garnered more acclaim over time.
Yes.
Because looking back at it, it's like everyone thought this movie was terrible when it came out. If you look at like all the
I was a little disappointed when I saw it in the theater, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why. It's a very, the way I hear it described most routinely is ahead of its time. And I think that is definitely true of it. It's got these meta qualities and commentary that it seems like audiences just weren't ready for at the time. Now, it does have problems. Like, it has some structural problems. The second half isn't like half as fun as the first half is.
Right.
The kid isn't great. So he's okay. He's far from like the worst movie kid.
Right.
But and the only other issue I have with it is the humor skews a little too young for me at times. Like, it's still it's still aimed at slightly older audiences. I mean, it's PG-13, but there's some humor that feels like it's aimed at like elementary school kids. Like,
Ice that guy, Conan the phrase.
Conan the phrase. But then there's like fart jokes and stuff, and I'm like, how young are you aiming here? But otherwise, it is very funny outside of those moments. Charles Dance makes for a great villain.
Oh yeah,
he's so good. Shane Black is just a great writer. So, and it definitely feels like a Shane Black movie. Now, he actually only co-wrote this one. There's another writer involved. Maybe the other writer is the one who put in all the fart jokes and stuff.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but also like the action is surprisingly good.
Yeah. Over time, it grew on me, and I ended up really liking it a lot now. So I would say A.
Okay, I think I would still go B tier myself.
That's fine. B is good.
I think it could deserve A. I don't know. How strongly do you feel on A? Because I could go for that.
Now the way I feel about it, I would say A.
Okay, let's go for it.
I mean,
we have the two Conan movies in a row here.
Oh shit! We're talking about my shit now.
Can you tell from the poster which one's which? Is this one?
That's the first one.
Okay, and that's the other one. Okay.
And now, the real poster. Fun fact: the real poster artwork of that one we're looking at right now. He's holding a decapitated head.
Oh, they like Photoshop it out.
They took it out.
Oh man!
But he's holding a head. This is my shit right here. I got a sword replica. I mean, I'm a dude. The score, bro, it's so epic, violent, gritty, badass. What the '80s was all about. You got Thulsa Doom, played by James Earl Jones. I mean, it's just great. And I like the side characters. I like Sabotage, and I like Valeria. Man, you want to live forever. It's just a great movie, man. For me, for an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Conan the Barbarian's S for me.
Oh, cool. I'm going to leave it completely to you because while I have seen both of these movies, I saw them very young, like as a child, and I haven't revisited them in a while. I haven't seen them in probably a decade. So I don't remember them all that well. I do remember loving the first one and not really liking the second one as much. But other than that, I don't remember why. So I'm going to leave it completely up to you.
Well, again, because I'm a Conan fan and Arnie fan, I enjoy Conan the Destroyer. It's probably the goriest PG-13 movie at the time. It's pretty bloody. It was like, what the hell? It's got decapitations and all this shit. It's PG-13. What? Times were different in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Grace Jones' character is insane. She really fucked up stuntmen in the movie, and they leave
I like
it in the movie.
Her music.
It's fun, man. It's fun. I mean, Mako's great in it. Another fun fact, I didn't know the big monster they resurrect at the end. That's Andre the Giant inside there. He didn't want any credit. He was just on set.
He didn't want credit?
No, wow. You don't see his name in the credits or anything. He just did it for fun.
Wow.
So Andre the Giant is in the big monster
to think
at the
that
end.
Arnie and Andre are in a movie together, but they don't really show down in person is kind of seems like a big missed opportunity.
That's true.
For in some other movie, some other alternate reality,
I'm pretty sure you, Sam, would probably give this like a D. I'm going to be generous. I'm going to give it a B.
Next up, this one I don't know if I've seen. I feel like I might have seen this one at one point, checked it out of the library.
I like Eraser. I think it's entertaining. I think it's an underrated Arnold flick. It came out around the time where people were kind of getting tired of Arnold. They were getting a little tired of that genre. That the action genre of films were kind of changing a little bit. So they were kind of tired of the big, beefy, greasy, buff guy going around doing his thing. It's not a perfect film, but James Caan's a good villain, and Patrick Kilpatrick's fun in the film as well. You get Vanessa Williams, but I think it's a solid action Arnold flick, man. It's still R-rated. It's badass, and the railgun sequence still to this day I've never seen anything like it in an action movie. When he whips out 2 rail guns and just starts blowing shit up, I've never seen anything like that in terms of using that type of technology. Now, the special effects for the alligators were bad. Okay, that was bad. The crocodiles, alligators were terrible. Other than that, though, I think it's a good movie, man. I'm going to be generous. I'm going to give it a B.
Okay, hearing you describe it, I'm pretty sure I have not seen this.
Okay.
If I have, then I guess you could say my memory has been erased. And we're moving on to T2, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Oh yeah, F tier. Okay.
Can you imagine if we did that?
Yeah, I know people would be so angry.
They would lose their mind.
I think it's an automatic S tier.
Dude, it's S.
Yeah, it's like it's up there with like the best movies ever in terms of just like pure entertainment. I've spoken at length on my channel here about how like I'm not really like a blockbuster kind of guy as far as like the types of movies I gravitate towards.
Right.
Terminator 2 is absolutely like a blockbuster film, a big summer popcorn blockbuster. And I think it's like the pinnacle of that type of entertainment. It's like you can't do better than that. It's just so good. And Robert Patrick is, unbelievable as the villain in that. That was like one of his first roles.
Amazing.
He'd only started acting like a couple of years earlier. What a like breakout role for an actor to grab. Arnold is great, of course. The shift from him being the bad guy in the first one to the hero in the second one is, it's excellent. I will say, I'm pretty sure that I saw Terminator 2 as a child several times without ever seeing the first one beforehand. I didn't see the first one until later on.
Right.
I think the second one's PG-13, right? And the first one's R, so that was probably why I saw the second one first.
What's what? Terminator 2
was rated PG-13, right? Or are they both?
Oh, no, it's R-rated.
Oh, it is R. Okay, I don't know why I was allowed to watch that one and not the first one.
That's what I'm saying. I'm jealous.
Yeah, but I know I saw the second one. Like probably no exaggeration, like a dozen times before I ever saw the first one, and it works as its own.
Linda Hamilton killed it.
Yeah, the one element that I didn't get as a child watching with having seen the first one was that misdirection of people thinking he's the villain when they watch it for the first time. Because for me, I was just like, oh yeah, he's obviously the good guy because he's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Most people would put T2 higher than T1, it seems, but we'll get to that when we get to the first one. But we got a couple of as far as like Sabotage.
A lot of people were disappointed with this because they thought it was going to be another Predator in terms of not creature feature, but in terms of Arnold being a badass, leading a group of badasses.
Interesting. I never made that connection. Yeah.
And the good news about it is Arnold's acting is good in this. He's good in this movie. It does have the R-rated violence. The problem with Sabotage, if you want to compare it to Predator in terms of beefy, buff comrades, is that you like those guys and you feel bad when they die in Predator. Sabotage, every single character is fucking horrible, but I think that was kind of the point. I don't hate it though. The ending was weird. The ending felt I was just unsatisfied with the ending.
Yeah, it's an unearned ending.
But I mean, you could do worse. If you want to see Arnold kick ass and take names, there's definitely worse than Sabotage. I would give it a C.
I would put this one in like D or E. This one didn't work for me at all. But I was just reading about it that apparently the original cut of the movie was almost 3 hours long. And that's what David Ayer wanted to release. He's the director of it. He's not a director I love. He's made some okay stuff, but he's also made a lot of mediocre stuff. But his, I guess his cut of the movie was almost 3 hours long. And when you look at the actual like release runtime, that means like about half of his movie is gone. It's like 50% shorter than his original cut. Almost.
Wow.
I think the release cut's like an hour 45 or something. So it's almost half of the movie is gone. And he says it wasn't even an action movie. It was supposed to be like a mystery thriller.
What?
Yeah, and then the producers went in and they like re-edited the hell out of it until it resembled an action movie. So apparently I think that explains a lot of the issues I have with it, because like a lot of the issues I have are in like the editing and in the story. I think there's a lot of stuff that is just super messy.
Wow, so we have another David Ayer cut request then, because fuck it. Even if it's 3 hours, it might actually be a better movie.
It probably would be a better movie, and it does explain some of the weirdness that is in the plot.
Didn't know that.
Like the double crossing stuff that's in the movie. It just feels like, what the fuck is going on in the current cut? But if it's supposed to be a mystery thriller, then it, maybe it all works better.
Put it in D. Fuck it.
Okay. Okay, next up is Terminator Genisys. Now, I'm going to say at this point, I haven't seen any of the Terminator movies after Terminator 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 3 is the last one I watched. So you're on your own for this one.
Oh, my
and,
God.
Well, he
well.
wasn't in Salvation, right? Or he had like a cameo or something. I didn't include that one in here.
They CG'd him.
Yeah,
because he runs into a T800 model at the end.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be this big nostalgic thing and whatever.
Everyone I heard say Genisys was horrendous, so I just never bothered with it. I heard better things about Dark Fate, but I just kind of don't care about the Terminator franchise at this point. It lost me.
You know, I don't want to recommend you watch these movies because they're not good, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts of it though. So if you feel like torturing yourself one day, go ahead. Here's the sad part about Genisys. Arnold's great in it.
Oh, is he?
He's good in it. You know, if you come to see Arnold, you know, reprise his role, he's just an older model. And he comes back to kick ass and take names and be funny once in a while because he's still trying to do that human thing. He's fun. Arnold is literally the only reason to watch this movie. But
was Salvation any good? I've heard mixed things about it.
Yeah, I'm mixed about it. There you go. But there's fans of Salvation, believe it or not. There's actually fans of it, especially after these other two. People are starting to.
I bet it looks great in retrospect.
Salvation more now.
I think that's part of 3. I think people are appreciating 3 way more in retrospect too.
They are, yeah.
I will say though, on the point of Terminator Salvation, haven't seen the movie, don't know if I ever will, but have you ever played the Terminator Salvation arcade game?
No.
It's really, really good. It's super fun. And you got to shoot the robot stuff. It's awesome. I recommend that arcade game.
All right. Now, I'm wondering if that's actually in my movie theater over here. I'm going to play it just for you. There's so many miscasts in this. Jai Courtney as, Michael Bihn's character. What's his name?
Kyle Reese.
Kyle Reese. Thank you. Miscast as Kyle Reese, and especially homegirl from Game of Thrones as Sarah Connor is terrible. Not once do you fear her or get intimidated by her. And like Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor, you're like, fuck.
She's great.
You're gonna get fucked up, right? But she just looks adorable. I don't want to see an adorable Sarah Connor, right?
An adorable badass.
Come with me if you want to live. It just doesn't work. And our boy Byung-Hun Lee wasted as T-1000. Like I said, if you're there to see Arnold kick ass, you might get some entertainment out of it. But the whole ending is like, what the fuck? And then the fact that they still like left it open for more sequels. And then they said, fuck it, we're gonna go to do Dark Fate. Yeah. Makes Terminator Genisys even more pointless now. You know what? Fuck it. Put it in D. I'll put it D. Put it D.
Okay. It's a little higher than I was expecting. Escape. What is it? Escape Plan? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can tell I haven't seen this one.
You know what?
They've been making sequels to it. Stallone has made like 3 or 4 sequels to it.
I know, with just Stallone.
We'll talk about that in our Stallone tier list that we're also going to do.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the movie. When it came out, it was another one of those everyone's disappointed because you have 2 action icons. Yeah. Not really in an action movie. So everybody was like, boo-hoo. But I knew from the trailer that it didn't look like a thriller. It looked like a drama. It didn't look like an action movie. I liked it, dude. And I'm going to tell you right now, bro, Arnold Schwarzenegger is fantastic in this movie.
Is one of maybe I'll check this one out.
This is one of the best acting performances from him. You even hear him talking his native tongue as well.
Oh, really? I don't think I've ever heard that actually.
Dude, Arnold is the man. Stallone's great, but Arnold's the man in this. And you do get some action at the end, but overall, I thought it was a very well done jailbreak movie, man. It was a fun thriller. I liked it. I'll give it a B, man. Fuck it.
Okay, cool. Now we have the Terminator, the OG Terminator.
People say Terminator 2 is one of the greatest action movies, or maybe the greatest action movie ever made. I'm not going to argue against that because the movie's so good. Let me tell you something. In my opinion, first Terminator is S tier, bro.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I was wondering if we were going to disagree on that because a lot of people pick 2 over 1 and they say it's like way, way, way better. I don't agree with that. maybe two's a little better, but honestly, I think one is better in some other areas.
Yeah.
Because like it's a little less of an action movie and it's a little more of a horror movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's got slasher elements to it. It's got thriller elements. I would hold that the police shootout where he blasts his way through the police station is as good of an action sequence as anything in T2. It's smaller, sure, it's cheaper looking, but it's so good.
Yeah.
I just
creepier too.
Oh yeah, and Arnold is so goddamn intimidating in this, even with his like kind of lame haircut or whatever. You know, he makes it work. It's like an Anton Chigurh kind of thing with the lame haircut just makes it scary. The whole ending with the pipe bombs and the factory, even the stop motion with the robot. It's like it's not the cleanest stop motion ever, but it's good. And
it's creepy looking though for some reason. Like the way it is, it's weird. And a great character development with Sarah Connor. You know, she's small, mousy, shy.
Yeah.
By the end, she's like, move it, soldier, let's go.
And just like when you compare her in Terminator 1 versus Terminator 2, it really shows, it's like looking at that contrast makes each performance even stronger.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just so, it's like, and it's not like she's playing a different character. It's like you believe it's the same character who's gone through some shit. And we saw the shit she went through, and it's a natural furthering of that character. It's like, what would happen? It's like, that's what a sequel should do. Don't just give us the same shit again. Show how this person's entire life would be altered. Like the fact that she's in a mental institution at the beginning and has to break out. It's like, that's not the easy way out when you go in to write a Terminator sequel. Here's a fun fact. I happened to read the Terminator screenplay recently. There was a guy originally who goes back with Kyle Reese. He wasn't on his own. There was another dude.
Oh shit!
They both teleport, and I hate that they cut this because would have been so cool. You know how they like there's like the ball of electricity that kind of like destroys everything that's around them. Yeah. Originally, it didn't destroy what was around them. They just like appeared somewhere. So Kyle Reese appears like a foot off the ground. He like hits the ground or whatever. Right. The other guy materializes halfway through a fire escape. Is what was in the script. So he materialized it. He's got like the ladder like through his body and shit. And he's like dying and he's like, put me out of my misery.
That would have been awesome.
That was in the movie. Yeah, it's such a great little like, it's a cool little sci-fi moment. It's like body horror. It would have been so cool. Yeah. So shout out to the original script for that.
Hell yeah.
Actually, you know what? It wasn't even the script. It was the treatment that Cameron wrote before writing the actual script.
Okay.
End of Days.
Poor End of Days.
This is another one that I think I have seen, but I don't remember anything about.
Well, on paper, if I came to you and said, Sam, I'm going to make a movie, it's going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Satan, right? The devil.
Yeah, sounds cool.
The fanboys in us would be like, oh my God, this is awesome. Yeah. This is kind of the greatest movie ever. It has a little bit of a Terminator 2 vibe to it because, you know, the devil's trying to get to them and he's shooting up at the rooftop and trying to get away and protect the girl and all that, or the young one. And it has a little bit of a Terminator 2 vibe in it. Some of the action's good. Everybody hates the ending. It's solid, man. It's a solid thriller. It's just kind of forgettable. I would say C.
Okay, next we have Raw Deal, which I've definitely not seen this one. But the one thing I can say about it is written about extensively in one of Richard Ayoade's books. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's like a British comedian who also directs stuff. He's made a couple of really good movies.
IT Crowd.
Yeah, so he's directed a couple of really good movies as well. He directed Submarine, which is a great coming of age movie, and he directed The Double, not The Double with Richard Gere, The Double with Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, okay.
And it's a great like doppelganger psychological thriller movie. He's written, I think, 3 books at this point. The second book is called The Grip of Film, A Cinematic Odyssey. And it's a book that he wrote like in character as this film critic named Gordy LaShore, who doesn't exist. He's like a made up film critic. And he's a film critic who like loves these 80s action movies and thinks every other movie ever made is garbage. So he's reviewing Raw Deal in character. And basically what the book does is Raw Deal is like the touchstone for this fake film critic. So as you go through the book, he's reviewing like dozens of movies, but he always brings it back to Raw Deal and connects about how like now in Raw Deal they did this better when Arnold's. So that's my point of reference for this movie.
It's probably more. That's probably more entertaining than the movie itself.
I would hazard to guess it's a good book. I recommend.
There's. I mean, if you want to watch a movie, Arnold in his prime, killing people. You're going to get some entertainment in here. There's some entertainment in the film for sure. There's something just odd about it. It's weird. It's like one of those. It's not, to me, it's not a terrible movie. It's not a bad flick. You can enjoy it, and it's interesting seeing slick back haired Arnold. But I heard that this was a movie where I think Arnold owed someone a favor. I think there's one
that's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I'm not positive on that, and you could kind of tell. You could kind of tell he's like
his heart's not in it,
But I mean, it's C tier for me.
Next up, we have Kindergarten Cop.
And you haven't seen it?
I have not seen it. No.
Okay, it's fun.
I tend to avoid his like kid movies because they just don't do it for me.
Believe it or not, there's violence in this.
Like
parents complained when this movie came out.
Oh yeah.
Arnold is one. He's good at one thing that a lot of people say Stallone is not good at, and that's comedy.
He is good at comedy. Yeah.
He's kind of a natural for it.
You got Stallone on your shirt, do you? Is that who that is? Yeah. There we go.
John Rambo's son.
Yeah.
But I know people are probably like, why is he wearing a Stallone shirt for an Arnold tier? This is just my regular wear. This is my regular clothes, baby. That's how samurai rolls. But Kindergarten Cop's fun, man. It's fun. I would say B for me.
Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines.
Believe it or not, dude, there's some legit stunt work and action in this.
Yeah, that's the one thing I remember is the fire truck.
Yes.
Chase scene action sequence.
Legit.
That's literally the only thing I remember, other than the fact of the new bad Terminator was she had they changed the rules, and now she didn't have the restrictions of the last model. She had like a gun arm and stuff. And I remember thinking
like a whole new model.
I remember thinking that was stupid, but who knows? But yeah, that fire truck chase is great. I have rewatched that sequence, but I have not rewatched the entire film in a long time. I used to see it on, I think it played on FX like all the fucking time on TV.
Yeah.
So I've seen it a couple times that way, like with commercial breaks and stuff.
It's funny because when I was watching the movie with my wife many years ago, we rewatched it just for fun. And as soon as Arnold comes in into frame, I'm all like, I've come to save the movie. That was my little riff. But yeah, man, it's got some legit action in it. The story's okay. I'm gonna be generous. I remember
thinking the John Connor actor was really bad in this, but I haven't seen it in a long time, so I don't.
He's okay. Everyone's kind of like fine. Yeah. But yeah, it's entertaining. That's the highest praise I can get it.
Yeah.
I'd give it a C, man. I would.
C sounds all right to me.
Yeah.
Okay, next up is Twins.
Oh yeah, Twins is fun. Again, Arnold good with comedy. This is one of the big ones.
This is another one that I don't know if I've seen or not. I feel like I might have, but I have like no memory of it.
He has great chemistry with Danny DeVito, man.
He actually worked with DeVito a lot. I realized going through this list, like him in Junior, and then DeVito was the cat in Last Action Hero.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so
I forgot about that. I'm sure with Junior, they were probably trying to bring back those twin vibes and failed miserably. But yeah, it's perfect because Arnold plays this fish out of water character. He's like this big kid, and DeVito's just, he's like the con man. And I haven't seen Twins, and to be honest, in like 5 billion years, but I remember it being a fun watch. I mean, and the last thing I heard was we're gonna do Twins 2, and we're gonna throw in Eddie Murphy for some reason. I was like, what is happening? But who knows? You never know. Hollywood. It's never too late to do a sequel, apparently.
Oh, I know. It'll probably happen. They'll reboot it with somebody.
Twins is fun, man. Twins, a B. You put it there.
The last Terminator movie. Terminator Dark Fate. Again, I didn't see it. I heard some good things, but I heard enough negative things, and I was like, I just kind of don't care.
It's great seeing Linda Hamilton. She's good in the movie. Again, Arnold is when he's there, he's good. It's just the new savior, because apparently John Connor wasn't the end all be all character because he dies in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
sorry, spoilers.
I'm not a fan of the whole like reboot weird timeline stuff they're doing. They're kind of doing what they did with the 2018 Halloween, where they're pretending all the sequels didn't happen.
It's a
And
what
like,
if movie. It's
yeah,
a what
they're
if
like
sequel.
they're
Yeah.
negating a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. It kind of worked in the first of the 2018 Halloween, but then it did not work in Halloween Kills, So I have watched some of the action scenes because I was curious, and I thought the physics were so like cartoonish. That's what I didn't like.
I've only seen
Everyone
this
was like flying through the air, and they were like flying through the air and hitting pavement and like bouncing
towards
and
the
shit.
end,
I was
right?
like, what is going on here?
That was bad.
It looked like little kids playing with action figures. It didn't feel there was like no real world physics.
Like, no, they should all be dead. Put it this way: if I was entertained with it at the time, that has lessened over time. So
did you like it more?
I don't want to put it below.
Genisys?
It's just as bad as Genisys, man.
So same as Genisys.
Yeah, it's just as bad. I'm sure a lot of people watching are like, it's F tier. Like, it's just as bad.
Iron Mask, which is another one I had never heard of, but it's him and Jackie Chan.
Okay, so we watched the first 5 minutes. We never finished it, so because we felt so lost. If you watch the movie, you're going to be lost. You're going to be like, dude, who are these characters? What is happening? So we found out it's actually a sequel to another movie.
Oh, holy shit.
And the first movie that it's sequeling is called Forbidden Empire. And you get introduced to this character. Now we rented that. We still haven't watched it yet. We still haven't watched it to see if my Iron Mask makes any sense. So
okay, so we'll delete that one.
Yeah.
Then we only have two left here, two big dogs.
Ooh, I wonder where they're going.
We might disagree on Commando, I think, a little bit.
Oh,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Maybe not. Shit!
Okay. I don't love Commando.
Oh,
I think it's very good, but I think there's some issues with it. Honestly, I think the first act is so schmaltzy and cheesy. I think the movie doesn't get good until like the second half. Is my issue with it. I don't really like the build-up. That's my problem with it. But then it gets fucking awesome in the second half. And it's ridiculous. It's in no way believable. It's like the epitome of what Arnold Schwarzenegger represented. Big, muscular guy standing in one place, shooting people, and people just flying through the air. It's like the epitome of that.
I wonder what the body count is for this movie. I wonder.
Oh, it's got to be like over 100.
If you played a drinking game for every body count, you're going to die. You're not going to make it.
Yeah.
One of Arnold's best. I mean, the one-liners is just great, and the action is just insane and over the top. But I mean, I grew up with the movie, so I watched it a billion times on TV. So the younger generation, Sam, may not be all in, that fond of it, but for me,
I still watched it as a kid. I still have some degree of nostalgia to it, the whole fight with Bennett where he throws the pipe into him to let off some steam. That's one of his best one-liners for sure. The guy with the fucking mesh tank top, what the fuck is he? What is
Vernon
he
Wells
wearing? It's ridiculous. And then I love
John.
Yeah,
I shoot you between the eyes, John. For Arnold Schwarzenegger list, Commando's got to be S tier, but I get it if you put it as A or whatever.
I think let's go A. We're
gonna meet in the middle. Okay, so A is still good.
A's still really good.
Still
it's definitely one of his best. I just think it's got a few too many little issues to hold it back.
Don't freak me out. Don't freak me out. Are you gonna freak me out with this one?
I mean, I can't go above like E with Predator. No. Predator's S tier all the way. Come on.
Yes.
There's no joke. Predator's S tier. Yeah. I rewatched Predator recently, not for the list, just for the fuck of it, because I just wanted to see it again. I was actually showing it to my old roommate who had never seen it, and he was fucking blown away too, because it's amazing. It's so fucking good, and it moves in stages. Like even before the Predator is in the movie, it's great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even when it's just him with his whole squad of dudes. Yeah. This movie is so quotable.
Yes.
The goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus, I ain't got time to bleed, all those quotes. Shane Black's jokes, his one-liners, but he's in it acting, not as the writer.
Yeah.
It's just so goddamn quotable.
There's so many. It's hard to say what's your favorite movie to some people because there's so many. So it's kind of hard. But I always go to Predator by default. It's my default favorite movie.
Oh, really? Like number one out of everything for you?
Yes. It's my default. Like if I can't think of something better at the moment, it's Predator for me. John McTiernan was the director of Die Hard, was on fire.
Yeah. He directed Last Action Hero too, we should mention.
That's right.
So,
right.
He's
He was on fire. Where is he? Did he retire?
No, he hasn't made anything big in a while, but he did direct a live action video game trailer for one of the new Ghost Recon games. How weird is that?
Oh my God. It's just Predator, just Arnold running away at the end, and you hear Predator redoing Sonny's laugh. I mean, it's the
Predator itself is so well executed, like the special effects, even the invisibility, which like you would think that would be an effect that hasn't aged well, but it just works. It still works. And then the practical effects of like the actual like Predator's face when he takes that mask off has got to be like one of the best like makeup designs ever.
Stan Winston,
the 4-way mouth. Yeah, we got to shout him out.
And they still can't get it right.
Yeah.
All the Predators now they look okay, but they're not as good as the original movie, which makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense. Have you seen the original Predator design when they had Van Damme in the little suit running around? Yeah. Good thing they didn't go with that. It would have been a much different movie.
What's funny is I have an action figure, and for fun, they re-released one of the NECA figures where it's a Predator, like a real Predator that we know. But he uses that design, the Van Damme suit design. Yeah. They made it look like armor over him. Predator, bro.
It's so good.
Phenomenal.
So that would be your pick for the very top of the overall tier list, it sounds like.
Yes. I know a lot of people would be mad because they would probably want Terminator 2, but I'm just biased.
I think I would go with either Terminator.
Okay.
Over Predator, but then it would be Predator and then True Lies as a close follow-up for me.
You can't go wrong with both our picks.
Well, let's review our picks right here and see how we feel about them. See if we want to change anything. Okay. So in S we have Total Recall, True Lies, Conan the Barbarian, Terminators 1 and 2. I'm gonna piss off the OCD people if I have those in the wrong order. Both Terminators, both of the first two, and then Predator. You hear me say both Terminators because in my head there are only 2 Terminators.
Well, they are.
Sequel. Yeah,
the sequels they didn't happen.
Yeah, alternate timeline. Maybe I am in favor of that revisionist history kind of approach. And Predator, I think we're locked in on that S tier. A tier, Running Man, Last Action Hero, Commando. Feeling good on those?
Yeah.
I forgot the title again. What is it? Is this one Red Heat?
Red Heat. Yeah.
Expendables 2, Maggie, Conan the Destroyer, Eraser, Escape Plan, Kindergarten Cop, and Twins.
I feel comfortable with it.
Out of this B tier, this is the only one I've seen. The rest
You know what? You can make it C, bro, if you want, because Arnold technically was barely in it. So if you want to. I mean, the B tier, if it was Slyless, I put it B maybe. But
B is pretty high for me. I think I would go C on this one.
Yeah, put it C, because Arnold's barely in it. It's fine.
What that means is that I haven't seen any of these B tier movies. At least not that I can remember.
I'm going to get a report back. I'm going to get a message, you guys. Just wait. Yeah. Sam's going to be like, man, all those movies are like E tier, man.
Yeah. If anyone watching disagrees with the B tier, blame it on Samurai.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, C tier now. Mm-hmm. We have Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
We have, what is this?
Killing Gunther.
Killing Gunther, Last Stand, Red Sonja, Expendables 3, End of Days, Raw Deal, Terminator 3, and now Expendables 2.
Right. Well, you know what? If you put Expendables 2 C, then go ahead and put Expendables 3 down to D.
Okay, sounds fair enough. Then maybe we move Expendables 1 down to E.
No.
Okay, I'll leave it up there.
Oh, can't put Expendables below Batman and Robin, man.
Well, maybe we move Batman.
That's
and
true.
Robin down.
That's true. All right. Well,
what do we think? See. Is that fine saying in D? Maybe not. I don't know.
You know what? Fuck Batman and Robin.
Okay, yeah.
The worst that that's what gives it its legacy. Is that when we keep shitting on it. That's Batman and Robin's legacy.
It needs to have that low bar to work as entertainment. And so you think these 2 Terminators equal footing?
Fuck them. Put them down to E.
Oh, both of them.
Fuck them.
Okay.
Fuck them. Yeah.
All right, there we go. C tier is the most loaded, but we got a whole lot of S tier movies too. This is our 32 movie Arnold Schwarzenegger spread. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out more tier lists here on Brickwall Pictures and go subscribe to the That Fat Samurai Guy YouTube channel if you aren't subscribed already. I've been in a bunch of videos on his channel, a whole bunch of versus videos, like we did the Warriors versus the Wanderers versus the Outsiders. We did Christine versus the Car. We did John Wick 2 versus Hard Boiled.
Yep.
And
We did a lot.
check out all those videos on his channel and everything else he does.
Subscribe to Brickwall Pictures, baby. That's right. This
Yep.
young man knows his shit.
And we will be doing a Sylvester Stallone tier list because you can't do Arnie without Stallone. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
So we will both see you in that video. So long for now.